Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we figure out how to build products and recover from burnout. I'm Brian.
And I'm Benedikt. Each week we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we figure things out. Today is May the 4th and I'm feeling drained.
May the 4th be with you. This is episode number 89 and I am feeling busy.
May the 4th be with you indeed.
And also with you. Oh man. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty busy. I'm feeling so busy that I barely have any notes. And I think that may have been the least amount of like pre-recording talk that we've ever had. So I'm running a few minutes late. I was like, hey, I'm here. Tell me when. Hit record. But I'm not, I was just like, okay, how am I feeling? I'm definitely not feeling overwhelmed.
That's
just
good.
Like, yeah, but I'm just feeling like, okay, go from work to prepping for the road to kid stuff, back to work, prepping for the road. So definitely feel like, go, but
yeah,
doesn't feel overwhelming.
You just took your jacket off. Like, did you literally just arrive at home, running into your office in front of the computer to start recording?
Yes.
Oh wow!
I mean, I messaged you because I knew I would be late because the kids and I were late getting out the door to get to school, and so yeah, walked in.
Okay.
Hit record.
Wow, that's dedication. Like, we could have postponed this a couple more minutes. That's all right. Not a problem.
Right. No, all good, man. Let's see.
Yeah. So what's going on? Like, I see you're leaving in 27 days.
27 days. Gosh.
That's less than a month.
Indeed. Yeah. Oh man, it doesn't feel completely real. So that's a little wild. And so I just basically, I spent the weekend, Laura and I, finishing, like getting the trailer ready, doing some renovations, doing a lot of renovations actually, and just getting it ready to move into, and like, okay, how do we settle into this so that it feels like home for a year? And this weekend, we're taking it out on a little test, test voyage. Just to a campground, like 40 minutes nearby, not far at all. But, it'll give us a chance to practice, like doing all the hookups and, okay, what doesn't work? What does, and so we'll be out there this weekend. And we'll see how it goes. But we're basically just trying to get how done with the trailer do we feel like we can get this weekend, so that then the last few weeks are just 100% packing up the house, getting moved out, and getting ready to go. But there's so much. There's so much that's yet to be done.
Are you putting everything in storage, or how does it work?
We're very fortunate that we have a very large crawl space, is what we call it here, but it's basically like it's a dirt floor, so it's not a basement, but it's it's underneath of your main level of the house. But I got a bunch of tarps and have basically just tarped the entire thing, and so anything that can fit in like a 3-foot by 2-foot tub to get through the opening into the crawl space, we can put it in there. So everything's going in there with the exception of some furniture, which I'm able to store in this other, piece of the basement that's going to be like blocked off. And then they're going to actually, the renters are actually going to use some of our furniture, some like the couches and a few beds, that sort of thing. So we're really fortunate in that we don't have to be paying for, a storage facility while we're out. But
how's that working out with the renters, by the way? Like, what are they doing that they need a house for a year and then move out again.
Well, yeah. I mean, they seem up to this point, time will tell, but they seem like extremely cool people. They run their own business, and so the reason that, and it's just they don't have kids. They've got a couple dogs, but the reason that they want a house with a couple of extra rooms is so that they can work from home, like run the, it's a marketing business that's like fully online. And so and they want to kind of hunker down for a little bit so that they can shop around to buy a house at towards the end of the lease. And so fingers crossed for us that they don't decide to make that move 8 months in. That will not be stress free if that's what they do. They've agreed to a 14-month lease. Let's hope that they stick it out for the full 14. But that's, that will be what it will be.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, in that case, it's like a temporary solution for them to just like, sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere. I don't see what happens next.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my expectation is 98% that partway through the lease that like their plans will change, and if it doesn't, then I'll be pleasantly surprised. And if somewhere along the road we have to figure out a way to find another renter, then that's kind of what I'm expecting we'll have to do anyway. So
yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Nice. So that's that. So yeah, and managed to work in a kid's birthday party in over the weekend.
What was your job?
With the birthday party?
Yeah.
To
everything.
To show up and point kids towards a few activities, and like Laura picked up the cake, she did all this other stuff. So funny because she was like, I think this is the least amount of work I've ever done for one of the birthday parties. I was like, well, it seemed like you're pretty busy. So I can't imagine what all the other ones look like. What's up with you, man? How are you doing over there?
Yeah, as I said, like feeling super drained. We spent the weekend basically hauling over the boxes we already packed, like with like non-essential stuff, and every piece of furniture that we don't really need day to day, like everything for storage and stuff like that. All the empty cabinets that are now like packed in boxes. Like we try to move as much stuff over that we don't need, and except for the stuff that's too heavy or too big to do on our own. So yeah, it was a busy weekend, and I feel like yesterday and today, basically out of energy.
Yeah,
it's just like I can't do anything anymore.
Yeah,
I realized it's probably been 4 weeks or so. Something like that since we had our last relaxing weekend with nothing to do,
no plans, nothing to do. Yeah,
and like we're thinking about taking the next weekend off of sorts, or not doing a lot of stuff. Let's see how it works out, because usually like just there's something we can do, like hanging up, like putting new lights on the walls and ceilings and whatever. But try not to exhaust ourselves as much as we did last weekend, because like can't get anything done today. So yeah, that's the mental state of mind right now.
Totally. It is so hard to like make the time to recharge.
Yeah.
When there's a long list of things to do, and if you don't just stop and rest from time to time, you will not get that list done anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a hard discipline to be like, we're taking it off. We're resting. We're recharging.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in a way, like our moving day, like when the movers are coming and like hauling everything over, is not until the 19th, so still more than 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
And like some people that like our current neighbors are already like giving us weird looks because we're already like moving stuff around. And, like, are you already moving out? I think you said you stay for a couple more weeks, and we're like, yeah, but I mean, everything we can do right now, we're doing right now.
Yeah, be prepared.
But maybe that's a mistake. Like, maybe we should just like not do it and like take a day off or so. So I don't know. Maybe, yeah. But then again, I mean, I have a feeling that we wouldn't be able to really relax with like a list of to-dos,
like hanging over
especially
your head.
like a list of to-dos that you can do right now. I mean, there's stuff like that we are definitely not doing ourselves, so we can't do that before the moving date. But yeah, that other, especially Katrin has a problem with like to-do lists, like looming to-do lists and ignoring stuff that's on there. So she's active every time that she's not at work, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on that front. It still feels like it's the majority of my attention, and yeah, the top of like the one thing that's top of mind at all times. So I have a hard time even remembering what else I did last week. Yeah. But anyways, moving along. One thing I remember from last week was we sent out a product update. Like basically, I sat down one day and just wrote down all the things we did in the last couple of months and weeks.
Got that email. That was jam-packed of stuff, man.
Because I feel like we shipped a lot of small stuff that we don't really like. It's not big enough to warrant its own blog post or whatever. So I felt like a good time to just like write down all of it in a summary announcement and then send that out. And we also announced a couple of beta versions of, like, for example, the Zapier integration, the new theme support, and the property update thingy that I built a couple of weeks ago. And we got a lot of good feedback in terms of a lot of people were interested to try those out. I think, honestly, I still have to check, but I think a couple of people are using the Zapier integration already. So that's good, especially as you need like testers and like active zaps to be able to even apply for their marketplace and their like listings page. So that's good. And yeah, just getting those features, like those half-baked features, into hands of real customers is a great motivation to finally work on them and finish them. For example, the theme, like we have the theme support almost done. There's a new theme editor in there as well, where you can like customize colors and stuff like that. But that part's not merged, so they don't see it yet.
Not seeing it yet. Yeah.
And instead, it's me answering support tickets of like, I want to change the logo. Can you please change the background color? So every time I have to go in there and do it. And every time that happens, it's basically me thinking, should I just like polish this thing,
merge
it, and be done with it? So that's probably something that will happen this week or maybe next week. Yeah. Anyways, that was good for motivation and like just like getting some positive vibes. The other thing that was fun last week, one of our customers asked if I'd be up for doing like some pair program on the integration to help them get going.
Yeah,
and that triggered me to finally get myself a Tuple account, a paid Tuple account. Because I've been watching this for a while now, and I think I was one of the people in the early days with like, shut up and take my money, but I haven't signed up for like forever.
I'm in the same boat. It's an amazing product.
Yeah,
clearly.
You're gonna need another person to use it with.
I'm a solo developer.
Yeah. So that last week was finally the day or the week where I decided, okay, I have at least one use case where I can use this right now with this one customer, and they will pay us more than what the license fee for a 1-seat license of Tuple is. So let's do this. And then I also decided to just announce the fact on Twitter and be like, I have a Tuple account, but no one to pair with. Who's up for like pairing on some code? And surprisingly, a lot of people chimed in and were like, yeah, let's do this. And then I realized, hey, I don't really have a good, like, I can't really schedule anything because my schedule is kind of messed up right now, especially with time zones and stuff like that. It's hard to to reasonably find time to actually do this. But I ended up doing one session with one of our listeners, as it turns out.
Cool.
So I paired with Matt Swanson, and we built we worked on the userless Rails gem and fixed a couple of problems
awesome.
that I forgot about or didn't properly implement. So that was a really fun session. Like in the preparation, like it was in my afternoon. So in preparation for that, I spent some time earlier that day writing tests and so like basically get a good basis in there. And it accidentally already implemented the feature that we wanted to build. But then we spent like 1.5 hours just like massaging this and refactoring it. And in the end, it turned out so much better and so much cleaner.
Amazing. Yep.
So it was totally the thing that I enjoy about pair programming and kind of miss, because last time I've been doing pair programming was probably like 5 years ago, maybe even longer than that, when I was still part of a larger team of Rails developers. Because since then I've been like mostly been the only backend guy or whatever, and on the consulting jobs I did. So yeah, kind of missing that. But the session was super great. Like just like throwing ideas around, going back and forth about code variations, and ultimately settling on things that are much better than what we started with. So it was great fun. And yeah, as I said, there are a couple more people that chimed in and were interested in doing this. So I hope to be able to squeeze them in sometime soon.
That's cool. And you'll be working on userless stuff?
Yeah, that's the other part that I didn't really consider. I'm not entirely sure how comfortable I am with just like pairing on the core.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't know. Yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm probably too worried about it. But then again, like legal wise, like how does copyright work if we work on the core together and stuff like that? So
I mean, that was going to be that was kind of my question about. I mean, that would be really, really cool to be like, hey, trying to tweak this thing on userless, and I'm sure that you would have both customers and listeners who are like, heck yeah, man. I mean, I'll give 2 hours. That will be fun. 2 hours.
Yeah.
Of time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, easy enough to like create a branch, pull somebody in, hack away at it, keep it or leave it. But like the ownership piece.
Yeah. I'm a bit worried that's something that will bite us down the road. But yeah. So like for now, like I like working on the gem was kind of easy because it's under MIT license, and people can contribute anyway, so it feels like this is less of a problem. But yeah, I think I have to figure it out. Yeah, I'm totally up for like working on other stuff though. Like if listeners are listening and are like, hey, I want to pair program with Benedikt on something, let me know. I'm totally up for it.
Awesome. Sure you'll get some more requests.
Yeah, and like hopefully after the move, like it will be fine, and I have more time to actually schedule this. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, what I didn't mention about the move is like I sent a notice of termination from my downtown office. So
okay.
That's going away, and we already moved most of the furniture into the new home from there. That was like the toughest part of my weekend.
Yeah. Toughest in the sense of leaving the downtown.
No, more like my desk is fucking heavy.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So are you going to be 100% home office?
Yeah, I'm going to be 100% home office.
Okay.
Honestly, I haven't been using the downtown office much at all in the past year. It's like I've been basically avoiding public transportation, and I was sharing the office space with a friend, but the friend is now living in Sweden, so he's not coming over anymore. Which was kind of the fun part of like sharing an office, like seeing someone else from time to time. But now as that's not happening anymore, and I'm not going there for other reasons, and now we are even moving further away from Darmstadt, so the commute is definitely longer. Mm-hmm. It felt like it doesn't make sense.
This doesn't make sense anymore.
To keep this, to keep doing this. Unfortunately, like the lease still runs until February or so. Or March even. So it's still a couple of months that we have to pay for it, even though we're not using it. But I mean, it's not like it's any different than what it was like the last couple of months. We've been paying for it and not using it. So yeah, we'll be fine, I guess.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm so it's weird. It's been over a year now. Or about a year, actually. I had I had the co-working space downtown, and loved it, and did not imagine that I would never be going back. When I canceled that, so I'm trying to find out. I mean, now that I'm vaccinated, more folks here are getting vaccinated. Trying to find something while we're on the road of some sort of, like nationwide membership. I just don't think that that's going to be super viable, because we'll be just in such a mix of places.
Wasn't that the entire thing that WeWork tried to?
Yeah, but I mean, WeWork's locations are all in like, big buildings in large cities, of which we are going to be inside of 0, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
And so, I'm betting it's just going to be like a mix of day passes or, coffee shops, that sort of thing. But hopefully I'll be able to find some cool spots to get familiar with for the week or so that we're in a given place. But we'll see.
I wonder if there's a website or anything. Like, I know there's Nomad List for like worldwide, but maybe there's something for like just the US or something like that.
Yeah, there've been a few that I've found. None have blown me away, but at the same time, I've never been completely in the situation I'm about to be in. Which is place to place. What are the co-working spaces? What are the day rates? And what are cool coffee shops with outdoor seating and Wi-Fi? So, well, yeah, I'll definitely be open to recommendations from, US based nomads in particular. If y'all know of any, super helpful resources as far as that goes. So about to be thick in it, man.
Yeah. I said it a couple of times, looking forward to seeing you with different backgrounds.
Different backgrounds, yeah. I mean, what I hope doesn't end up happening, or I don't know, what I imagine might end up happening for you is you're just going to continually see the background of my bedroom in the RV, because that's probably where my most reliable Wi-Fi is going to be.
Yeah, probably.
Can't record the like. Here I am at some coffee shop with random Karen behind me.
Yeah, that's unlikely to happen. Yeah.
Maybe I'll record outside of the RV so that you can see which campground we're in.
You have to post at least one photo per episode of your surroundings.
Yeah, okay. That's a really good idea. That's a good point.
And maybe we should change the intro and include today I'm recording from.
Yeah. I have been wanting to feel like how to build products and recover from burnout. I don't want to jinx anything, but I don't feel burnt out anymore. Even kind of going back to the conversation at the very top of feeling like I'm really, really busy. If I had this on my shoulders in October or November, I would be wrecked fully. And right now it's just like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get done. We'll sort it out. And it just continues to amaze me how susceptible we are just to, like, I'm still the same person. I have not changed that much between then and now. And yet my experience with my context and my reality is so different. It's just, it just never ceases to amaze me how susceptible we are, to those things.
Yeah.
And, how possible change is. So I just want to that's just something to throw out there. What got me off on that train of thought was you suggesting, we need to tweak maybe think about tweaking the intro. I've been wondering about tweaking the intro from the Recover from Burnout thing, because I'm like, yes, not mission accomplished, but like
making good progress.
This has been a very fruitful 4 to 5 months here, and I feel very grateful for it.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same thing. Like in terms of, I feel like I'm more heading into the opposite direction with this right now.
I was actually going to ask that. You've kind of said before, I mean, do you feel burnt out, or do you feel worn thin? Like, how would you describe like where you're at in the life cycle of trying to bootstrap a sustainable product business?
Like I feel a lot better about the product these days. Like December and January was tough, and I felt like really exhausted and things like that. February was still tough, but since then I've been feeling way more optimistic. And I mean, you're not your MRR growth, but MRR growth has been better in the last couple months. So that's definitely helping, but also like all the conversations we're having and the product direction and stuff like that. So that's having me more optimistic and more positive about things. But then like with the move and all of that, that's like, it's just like a major bump in the road in terms of mental health and burnout. So it's not work induced anymore, but like more like life in general induced. But I mean, there's an end in sight. Like in a couple of weeks, it will be over. It might not be better, or I don't know, but it will at least be over.
Yeah. Hopefully, at least the temperature will come way down in that realm of things.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, it's one, like this problem or this set of problems has a deadline attached to it. And after that, it will be mostly fine. So that's, that makes it easier to handle, I guess. So it's not as stressful, or it's plenty stressful, but you can manage it better. Like, you know what you're getting into. So yeah, I'm up for changing the intro because this will hopefully just be a phase, and then things are better again. So yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, that's all I've got this week, unless you've got anything to add.
No, I don't have anything to add.
Right on, man. Well, good catching up. We'll talk next week.
See you then. Bye.